Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I'm an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. As you can see, I'm back here in my natural habitat. I went outside this morning to go film, and it was really cold, and I couldn't believe how cold it was. So I said, it's time for us to move things back inside. And so here we are. I got Danny down there below. Looks like he's sleeping. I can't tell. You might hear him in a minute or two. I want to talk today about drivers. What drove me to drink? What might be driving you to drink? What might be driving you to use drugs? What may have driven you to use drugs or to drink, and that may be coming back up. At the end of the day, if the very first words that I ever read from Bill Wilson in the Big Book that really captivated me, that really spoke to me, it was on page 2. And it was when Bill said, "I'd prove to the world I was important." At the end of the day, that's all I ever wanted. I just wanted to feel important. Keep in mind, I was raised by my parents telling me, "Oh, you're going to do big things in life. You know, God loves you. God's got big plans in store for you." And as I got older, I'd been believing that. As I got older, I started going, "Well, where are these big plans that God has for me? God must hate me. If He did, I'm not seeing these big plans. Matter of fact, all these bad things are happening. So this God that my parents kept telling me about, He must have hated me, right?" Okay, so since I can't impress and prove to this supernatural being that I was important, next best thing, let me prove to humans, to non-supernatural beings, that I'm important. Let me convince them that I'm cool, that I can fit in. Let me be part of the cool kids club. I wanted to feel accepted, and I never felt that way. Now, no fault of theirs by any means. I clearly remember looking back. I clearly remember them trying, but I just never felt accepted. And the problem came down to was how I felt about myself. See, I didn't like myself. I was insecure. I felt inadequate. I didn't feel like I had any value or meaning at all. And so when in my head, whenever others would try to include me or make me feel like I was part of the cool kids club, if you will, make me feel like I was important, in my mind, I couldn't reconcile all of that at all. And so I'd feel disappointment towards others. I felt disappointment in the fact that God, this alleged supernatural being that existed out there, I felt disappointment that He didn't love me. And worst of all, I felt disappointment in myself. I felt disappointment in myself because the idea of who I was so far removed from who I actually had become that I didn't want to admit it. I was just nothing but a failure. And I didn't know how to handle that. And so I didn't know how to deal with that disappointment. I didn't know how to deal with those insecurities and feelings of inadequacy, except by booze. Because, well, hell, alcohol allowed me to not feel at all. And no feeling is better than feeling of disappointment, especially in yourself. And I remember thinking, well, I need to try to change the way I feel about myself. So I had the great idea, in order to change the way that I feel about myself. Keep in mind, I tried many things to change the way I felt about myself, and I just couldn't do it. So in order to get me to feel about me the way that I wanted to feel about me, I would go and do things for other people. So they, in turn, would go, "Oh, gee, Drew, you're such a good guy. We're going to turn around and do something good for you, make you feel good about you." So I began relying upon other people to make me feel about me the way that I could not make me feel about me. How asinine is that? How bass-ackwards is that? I couldn't make myself feel good about myself, so I was going to rely upon other people to make me feel good about me? No. And quite frankly, it was unfair to me helping other people because I was doing it with a motive and intent and a motive to get something in return. That's not fair to them. If I'm going to do something for somebody, I want to do it out of the genuine kindness of my heart, not because I'm expecting something in return. At the end of the day, it all came down to my own insecurities, my own feelings of inadequacy, and my own feelings of just not feeling good enough, just not feeling worthy of friendship, feeling worthy of being included. And quite frankly, if I'm being real, how could I be included? Because I didn't even know who I was. I didn't even know who Drew was. So how could I expect Drew to feel included in other people's lives? How could I expect Drew to feel worthwhile and adequate? How could I possibly expect Drew to provide value and meaning to other people's lives. That's where I want to thank the Rooms of Recovery, especially for me, thank God for the Rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, because I got in there and I started asking these questions. Who is Drew? Who am I? I know I think of myself this way, and the reality is I'm way over here. How do I get back to here? How do I get back to that person? I started asking the right questions. My friends will tell you I'm a questioning person, man. I will ask you a million questions. They hate me for that, but that's okay. If you're at that point, you're asking those questions, you are asking the right questions. I want to encourage you, though, get around a group of people who have already answered those very questions about themselves, because maybe that can help you answer those questions about yourself. And that is when your journey to recovery really starts. When you start hanging out with people who've already answered those questions, who've already figured out how to solve their drinking and drugging problem, and they start trying to help you and show you and answer those questions for you, so you can get to know yourself, so you can stop feeling inadequate, you can stop feeling insecure, and you can start feeling like you can provide meaning to other people's lives, including your own. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys help keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. We have our Crosstalk Friday meeting this coming Friday night. I know it seems like a long time away, but we had a great Crosstalk meeting last Friday night. There were so many topics come up. And it was just incredible. So I want to encourage you, if you're local to the Huntington, West Virginia area, this Friday night, 5747 East Pea Ridge Road in Huntington at 7 o'clock, we'll have our Crosstalk Friday. Always a good time. And there was a lot of sugar there this last meeting too. So plus we got a special friend of ours coming in this week. She'll be visiting us this week. So I'm really excited for this upcoming week. I couldn't be any more stoked. If you guys have that topic you'd like to hear discussed on these monologues, feel free to email it directly to me, Drew, DREW, at recoveryclassroom.org. We'll take a look at it, see what we can do. In the meantime, remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.